What if the most dangerous thing you have ever done was smile and say, "Whatever you guys want to do is fine with me"? What if the very trait you pride yourself on, your endless flexibility, your low-maintenance attitude, your ability to just go with the flow, is actually a slow, quiet form of self-murder? Think about your own life for a second. Think about that heavy, sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach when a friend cancels plans for the third time, and you type back, "No worries at all," with an exclamation point you do not feel. Think about sitting in a restaurant you hate, eating food you didn't really want, surrounded by people who assume you are perfectly happy because your face is arranged into a polite mask. Your jaw is slightly tight. Your breathing is just a little bit shallow. But nobody notices, because you have made it your life's mission to ensure that nobody ever has to notice you are uncomfortable. We are taught that being easygoing is a virtue. You are the chill friend. You are the accommodating partner. You are the employee who just gets it done without a fuss. People love you for it. But this is a lie. It is a profound, insidious lie. Deep down, if you are truly honest with yourself, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., you know the truth. You are not chill. You are exhausted. You are carrying a massive, invisible debt. And every time you bend over backwards to accommodate someone else's preference, you are adding another brick to a wall of resentment that is slowly walling you off from the rest of humanity. Look at the mechanics of this. You think you are being kind. You think you are keeping the peace. But Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, had a concept for this exact situation. He called it enantiodromia. It is a Greek word that means the tendency of things to turn into their exact opposites. Jung observed that whenever an extreme, one-sided tendency dominates our conscious life, an equally extreme, opposite tendency builds up in the unconscious. Think of it like a stretched rubber band. The further you pull it in the direction of being light, breezy, and endlessly accommodating, the more tension you are building in the opposite direction. Your conscious persona says, "I have no needs, I am easy." But your shadow, the hidden, disowned part of your psyche, is growing furious. It is becoming rigid, demanding, and secretly cruel. This is why the nicest, most easygoing people often suffer from sudden, terrifying outbursts of rage. Or, more commonly, they do not explode outward. They implode, they vanish. They engage in the silent, passive-aggressive withdrawal of affection. Have you ever ghosted someone because they crossed a boundary you never communicated to them? Have you ever felt a sudden, icy detachment from a partner you claimed to love, simply because they kept taking you up on your offer to do whatever they want? That is enantiodromia in action. Your forced flexibility turns into a punishing rigidity. You become a tyrant of silent expectations. You secretly wait for people to read your mind, and when they fail, you condemn them in your head. The tragic irony is that your attempt to be the easiest person to love has made you entirely unknowable, and therefore impossible to actually love. We need to go deeper into the psychology of this trap. Why do we do it? We do it because we are terrified of the friction of existence. We are terrified that if we state a solid preference, if we say, "No, I do not want to go there," or "Yes, I need you to do this," for me will become a burden. We believe that love is transactional, and our currency is our lack of friction. But here is the radical truth that Eastern philosophy and depth psychology demand you face. Your friction is your substance. In Zen Buddhism, there is a deep reverence for what simply is. A rock in a stream does not apologize for altering the flow of the water. The rock's solid presence is what creates the beautiful patterns in the current. By trying to be water, by trying to be purely fluid and formless around everyone else, you are denying your own density. You are refusing to take up space in the material world. You are attempting to be a ghost while you are still alive. So, how do we stop? The modern self-help industry will tell you to simply set boundaries. They hand out scripts. They tell you to practice saying no in the mirror. It fails. It fails completely because it treats a spiritual sickness like a scheduling error. You cannot life hack your way out of a deeply rooted psychological defensive mechanism. Before you can set a boundary, something else has to happen. Something much darker. In psychological alchemy, a symbolic map of transformation that Jung deeply studied, there is a stage called Putrefactio. It means the rotting, the decay, the blackening. Alchemists believed that before base metals could become gold, they first had to die, rot, and be broken down into black ash. Applied to your mind, this means the easygoing persona you have built your entire identity around must be allowed to rot. You cannot slowly transition out of it. You have to watch it die. And you have to endure the terrible smell it makes as it decays. What does this rotting look like in real, physical human life? It looks like guilt. Sickening, stomach-turning guilt. When you finally look a friend in the eye and say, "I actually don't want to help you move this weekend. I need to rest," the immediate aftermath will not feel like empowerment. It will feel like a crime. Your chest will tighten. Your mind will race with catastrophic scenarios. You will be convinced they hate you. You will feel a desperate urge to text them an apology, to offer to pay for movers, to do anything to erase the friction you just caused. Do not send the text. Let the persona rot. You must sit in the fire of that guilt and do absolutely nothing. You must let the image of the perfect, selfless friend burn away. This guilt is not a signal that you have done something wrong. It is the agonizing sensation of your psychological skin peeling off to reveal actual bone underneath. Here is the profound paradox you must accept. Disappointing people is not a failure of love. It is a strict requirement for genuine connection. When you refuse to disappoint people, you are actually engaging in a subtle form of manipulation. You are managing their reality. You are shielding them from the truth of who you are because you don't trust them to handle it. You are saying, "I am going to tightly control my behavior so that you never feel an uncomfortable emotion around me." That is not kindness. That is a velvet cage. By never showing your edges, you deny people the opportunity to love the real you. People cannot love a void. They cannot embrace a shadow. They can only love a person who has defined borders, strong preferences, and the capacity to push back. Think about the people you respect the most in this world. Are they the people who agree with everything you say? Are they the ones who bend to your every whim? No. The people we deeply respect, the ones we are violently drawn to, are the ones who are grounded in their own reality. They carry a distinct weight. When they say yes, you know it is a real yes, because you have seen them say no. Your easygoing nature has robbed your yes of all its value. It is inflation. Because you say yes to everything, your yes means absolutely nothing. To reclaim your soul, you must become a student of healthy disappointment. You must start dealing it out in small, deliberate doses. Next time you are in a group and someone asks where you want to eat and your instinct screams at you to say, "I'm good with whatever," stop. Close your mouth. Feel the anxiety rising in your throat. Breathe into the tension in your stomach, and then force yourself to name a specific location. I want Italian. Watch what happens. The sky will not fall. The earth will not open up and swallow you. Someone might disagree. Someone might say, "Oh, I had pasta yesterday." Good. Let them say it. This is the friction of existence. This is two real humans negotiating reality, rather than one human erasing themselves to keep a fake peace. You have spent your entire life trying to be the sky vast, empty, accommodating every passing cloud. But the sky is untouched. The sky is cold. The sky is fundamentally alone. It is time to stop being the sky. It is time to be the earth. Be solid. Be something people can trip over. Be something that pushes back. There will be dirt. There will be resistance. Some people who only liked you because you were useful and pliable will fall away. Let them go. Their departure is the price of admission to your own life. The grief of losing them is nothing compared to the tragedy of losing yourself. The inner work is not about becoming lighter. It is about becoming heavier. It is about acquiring gravity. And gravity requires mass. It requires the courage to be difficult, the bravery to be inconvenient, and the profound, radical willingness to let somebody else be slightly annoyed with you, while you remain entirely at peace. If you made it to the end, comment the courage to be difficult, and I will personally reply to you. And if this resonated with you, subscribe to be part of this and leave a like if you enjoyed it.